Hello students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So dear students, in our previous video or in our previous session, we discussed some of the activities or some of the things that are done during a debating process, including some of the activities that take place during preparation time, and again some of the activities that take place now during presentation, or what we call the points delivery. And lastly, we also discussed something under that is heckling process. So again, under listening and speaking, dear students, allow me talk about interviews. Allow me talk about interviews. And again, before we look at interviews, if you missed the previous session, kindly check it out. So talking about interviews, dear students, let me pose this question to you. Have you ever attended any formal meeting where you are asked questions and are expected to respond to them? So more than once, you are invited or you will be invited to attend interviews. So you can also invite someone, to interview. And for this reason, it is important to have some interview tips. So first things first, what is an interview? What is an interview? So an interview is a formal meeting. It is a formal meeting consisting of two parties, that is the interviewer and the interviewee, where the interviewee is asked questions and expected to respond to them. So that is what we mean by an interview. So the two participants in an interview, just like I have mentioned, are the interviewer. So an interviewer can be one person, or at times a panel of interviewers. A panel now consists of more than one person. So, and we also have the interviewee, which is one person in most cases. So here are some tips for the interviewees. So as the person being interviewed, let's talk about job interview preparations, to be precise. So as the as someone who is seeking for job, maybe you are done with your studies up to maybe you have your degree or your masters, and you are trying to now hunt for jobs and so on. So expect to be invited to attend a number of interviews. So if you really want to be considered for a particular job following an interview, you have to adequately prepare to succeed. So here are some of the preparations or tips that the interviewee would put in place before the interview. So we are talking about the preparation time. Remember, when we were looking at the debating process, we also, had preparation time where the contestants or the participants or the debaters, have to do one, two, or three things before the actual day. So likewise, in interviews, we also have preparation time. That is some of the things the interviewee would put in place before, you know, getting into any given room or office to be interviewed. So the first one is contact your referees to alert them that you will be interviewed and they are likely to receive a call. So talking about referees, who are referees? Remember, when writing letters of application, that is applying for a given vacancy or post. In most cases, they are the referees. So these are people who can be called at any time to confirm if at all some of the qualifications that you have included in your CV are true or false. So we normally have the referees in curriculum vitae. So contact your referees to alert them that you'll be interviewed, and they're likely to receive a call so that everything runs smoothly. Again, prepare your documents and make sure they are neat and well arranged. Talking about the documents being well arranged, uh, always be systematic in your arrangement. That is, you can use a given sequence, either starting with the certificates, maybe from higher levels of learning, going down to the lower levels, that is the secondary school, primary school, and so on. Yeah, and if you have a birth certificate, your ID, and everything, you can start with the birth certificate, followed by the ID to some school ID, and any other thing, any other relevant document. So always have them arranged neatly in order. Again, ensure that you know the location where you are having the interview, that is the venue or the place where the interview is going to be conducted, or where the interview is going to take place. So this will help you know how long it will take to reach there, especially if it is your first time. If it is your first time, know the location and look at the approximate time or time estimate. So another thing, do some research about the organization or the company that is employing that is your potential employer. So also prepare what you wear and how to groom. Yeah, so it is important to groom or dress decently, because that will also help boost your confidence now during the interview. Uh, Another thing, anticipate potential questions and prepare answers correctly. So this goes, hand in hand with doing adequate research. Another thing is that arrive early enough for the interview. So when you're going for the interview, ensure that you arrive early before the interviewers arrive. Do not, find the interviewers waiting for you uh, at the venue. So also prepare questions to ask the interviewer at the end. It will show how much you are interested in working there. In most cases during an interview, dear students, at the end, the interviewee is normally given a chance to ask a question or two. This is normally any question. It is not, specified. You can ask any question, be it a general question or a question to do with uh, the company and so on. So maybe if it is an organization, we can talk about a question to do with, you know, uh, some of the activities, or how, the organization takes care of some of its employees. So again, we have some of the things that are now done during the interview. Now, when you're talking about during the interview, these are now some of the things that we do now when being interviewed, or when being asked questions, and even before. So the first things first, when you are in that room, greet the interviewer. So after greeting the interviewer, we have to be systematic. So start by knocking on the door. So after knocking on the door, wait for a response before you enter. Then after being showed in, shut the door behind you quietly. So after that, greet the interviewer. And again, wait until you are offered the seat before sitting. Sit or stand upright and look alert throughout based on what you have been told. So if the interviewer has offered you a seat, go ahead and be seated. But if not, remain standing. So also make good eye contact with the interviewer to show that you are honest. Yes, not just eye contact, but appropriate eye contact. So make good or appropriate eye contact with the interviewer to show you are honest. Remember, if you keep on hiding uh, uh, or maybe you don't want to look directly at the panel of the interviewers, then it shows that there is some dishonesty. It hints maybe in your documents, or you are not sure with some of your qualifications and so on. So another important thing to consider is that answer questions honestly. So this is also another point to consider. Be honest as you answer questions. Don't ever lie, because you might lie, then you mess up after being offered the job or the opportunity. So I also have got, some common mistakes or blunders that you must avoid. So as the interviewee, avoid falling foul of the following mistakes. So the first one is turning up late for the interview. The interviewers are already there, or the panel of the interviewers uh, uh, are already at the venue, and you are arriving 30 minutes late, meaning that it is now them waiting for you. So it should be the opposite. You must arrive very early and wait for the interviewers to arrive. So number two, avoid dressing and grooming inappropriately. Remember how your appearance, the physical appearance, matters the most. It communicates something about you. It is the first impression. So avoid dressing and grooming inappropriately. That is walking into the room where you're being interviewed with kinky hair or ragged clothes. Maybe the shark is not tucked in, and so on. That will or might disqualify you. Uh, Even if you are, it doesn't matter even if you're so good in the papers or the qualifications. Another thing is that avoid giving simple yes or no answers. Ensure that you give an answer that is structured. Giving simple yes or no answers shows how inept you are, or maybe uninformed you are. And another thing is that avoid speaking negatively about your previous employer. Do talk positively about the previous employer and give your reasons, maybe why you felt like looking for a new place. So also avoid sitting before invited. So remember, under some of the things we do during the interview, we said that once you are allowed to enter inside the room, remain standing until you are offered to sit. Then lastly, avoid discussing time off or money. So avoid these at all costs. So also, as an interviewer or the panel of interviewers, these are some of the things that you are supposed to do. So remember, the interviewer is the one who now asks the questions. So the interviewer asks the questions while the interviewee answers the questions. So as an interviewer, before the interview, ensure that you write down the questions to ask the interviewee. Then number two, call the prospective employees referees. That is the, the referees indicated by the interviewee in their curriculum vitae. So number three, As an interviewer, prepare the place for the interview. It is the work of the interviewer to organize and to prepare the venue for the interview. Then number 4, as an interviewer, before the interview, alert the interviewee about the interview. Mention the time and place. So this is normally done, via emails, text messages, or maybe phone calls. So ensure that you alert the interviewee about the interview and do not forget to mention the time and the place. Then also arrive early for the interview as the interviewer. So during the interview, as an interviewer still, encourage the interviewee to speak, for example, by nodding your head when they answer questions. Also, allow the interviewee or give them enough time to respond to questions asked, sorry. Then number 3, speak and ask questions politely. Remember to be friendly but formal as much as you can. Then last but not least, as an interviewer, make meaningful eye contact with the interviewee to show you are listening to them. Dear students, that brings us to the end of the session. Once again, I'm your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Until next time, bye.